Today we're in Elsberry sitting down with Kim and Megan from the Elsberry Community Growth Association. First off, thanks for having us here at the salon. Elsberry is one of those towns where it feels like something is always going on. Events, community involvement, people showing up, and I want to talk about why that is. So for people who may not know, what is the Elsberry Community Growth Association?
All right, well, I'm Kim Sifuentes. I'm the president of the Community Growth Association. I took over in October. We have been around since 2017, and we are a 501c3 membership organization. In some ways, we're similar to a chamber of commerce. In others, more of a community growth association. So our mission is to promote and preserve the community of Elsberry as a great place to call home. And we do this through the fulfillment of 4 objectives. And number 1 on those is telling a better story about our community. Number 2 is participating in the beautification of our community through different events. We've had a little bit of, community involvement in creating a monument for the start of Elsberry on 79, and then championing existing local businesses and encouraging entrepreneurship. And 4 is strengthening the fabric of our community through local events. So we love our small town, and we think that, its best days may be yet to come, and we are pushing to keep Elsberry growing and staying with those small town values that we've had all along.
I'm Megan Miller. I'm a board member. And what we do throughout the year is we offer 3 free concerts. Those dates are June 13th, and it'll be the Honky Tonk Heroes. July 3rd is the Dave Matthews Tribute, and August 8th is Cluster Puck at the First Bit Mid Park, which we maintain and take care of. We, in the past, we've done 1 community cleanup day, and this year we're going to offer 2 of those. So we provide a dumpster for the community, and those days are April 18th and September 19th.
And we are always looking for volunteers to help us with those dates. We provide trash bags, things like that, some gloves, so we can go around and pick up around the community and make sure that everything is kind of maintained, do a little bit of weed pulling, whatever kind of needs to be done along Main Street and some other parts of town.
And then you all have done this before?
Yeah, we've done this for a couple years now. Yeah.
How's the turnout been, the response?
So there for a while it was really great. We had a lot of involvement from the school. That's kind of dropped off a little bit, but we still have a pretty good group that comes out and does it. We could always use more.
So again, those dates are April 18th and September 19th if you want to come and help.
Yes.
We also have some members called On My Own Time Lawn Care, and they add lights to the entrance of town. And like the Christmas trees, that the FFA.
Yeah, we had the Elsberry FFA welded trees for us for the entrance in the town where we put up that monument sign. And On My Own Time Lawn Care donated his time to light those trees and put up lights on the front of it for us.
And these are all things that the Elsberry Community Growth Association has kind of helped pull together. And
Yeah.
A couple more things we host National Small Business Week, and that highlights the local businesses and what makes them special to Elsberry. And that week is May 3rd through the 9th. We also have Small Business Saturday, and that's November 28th. And we raffled off a cooler and gave one of the coolers also to the business that brought in the most people who had the most tickets.
Who won it?
Penrod's. Yeah. And Lee Evans won the cooler. She was our drawer for that, which she actually works in Troy but lives around here.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. We do Christmas light contests for businesses with the winner receiving a promo video.
Yeah.
And we host the Fall Festival, which is a big event, and that is October 3rd. Last year there were 6 bands, 55 vendors, and 30 parade participants. And then we do ribbon cutting for new businesses, and we do a cash mob once a quarter for local retail businesses.
What's a cash mob?
So we invite everybody to come out. We guarantee you're going to spend $20, and when you do, you get entered to a drawing. So if you spend $40, you get 2 tickets entered, and the drawing is for a cash prize. We provide $70. We provide the tickets, the boxes, the pens, everything for the business. We'll promote it, create an event online, invite everybody from the community around even to come, and they get entered into that drawing, which we just did that Saturday at AJ's and Cats.
Yeah, seen the video.
And they matched us, actually, so that person won $140 cash, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just
Pretty
got
good
it
turnout?
yesterday. He was pretty excited.
Was it a pretty good turnout?
It was a a decent turnout. There were a lot of events in town, but
Yeah.
it was good. We had a good time.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So those are the main things that we do. We've also, in the past, offered a small town business booster grant for Small Business Week. So we set aside around $1,000 for each of those events, Small Business Week and Small Business Saturday. So we have a budget for those that we're going to spend. And in that case, we offered two $400 grants for any businesses who are in good standing with the ECGA. So they paid their membership dues for the year. And Penrod's actually won both of those. So they got a new ice chest and they got a new scale to keep them in business at the time. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great when we get to do stuff like that for them.
Let's see. Oh, I saw y'all have open board positions right now. Talk about that.
Yes. So our board of directors, we meet every other month on Monday at 7 p.m. So it's a set time, you know, when you're going to be meeting, you can schedule it out ahead of time. And we discuss what we're going to be doing. We ask that the directors are involved in a committee. So that could be the Small Business Saturday, Small Business Week, the Summer Concert Series, Fall Festival, whichever one they feel like they can contribute to. And that they bring in a new member every year. So those are pretty much the only qualifications for that. We ask that you want to help promote Elsberry and that you want to help us achieve that through all of these events that we do.
Well, who should be getting involved and why does it matter?
So being involved, so there's been lots of studies that show that being civically involved leads to a better economic situation for a community. So the more that people are involved, the more that they spend there, the more that they feel they need to promote the community itself. So it's going to help every business when everybody's involved. We think anybody who is willing to help us out, who thinks they have contacts that can help us, who wants to grow the community, we're willing to take them in and let them help us. We're actually looking for 3 positions to fill currently. So you can go to our Facebook page and there is a link for that application.
You guys put on a lot. Fall Festival, Summer Concert Series. Walk me through those. What goes into that?
So our Summer Concert Series is headed by Adam Heitman. He's done it, I think, since it began. So he will find our bands for us and get those booked out. We invite the community to come. We will have a tent set up where we'll sell beverages, and we will also typically have a vendor or 2 there who's selling food items. But you're free to bring your own cooler, to bring your chairs, your blankets. We have people who pull up on their side-by-sides, and we just hang out for the night and listen to a great band. And we usually will have some sort of raffle during that time for people to sign up as well. We are always wanting to add to our membership list. When you're on the membership list, you're going to get an email that's going to tell you everything we're doing, what's going on, give you some opportunities to kind of meet with people in the community. Fall Festival, that's a big one. So used to be held, I think, by the city, then the school did it, then the city did it for a while, and now we've kind of taken that on. So we have the parade that starts, and we have vendors in the park. We have someone who's in charge of those vendors. It's Angie Curry, who owns Curry Roots over here. She's also a director on the board. She got us a ton of vendors last year, and it was a great turnout. We had amazing weather. And it was probably one of the busiest ones I've seen in a while. Yeah, it's a great time. We have vendors from all over, not just Elsberry. Typically try to diversify what we have there, and there's some that we have multiples of, but we try to do that. We have inflatables. I think we got Ameren to give us a grant for those last year. So we had inflatables for children, so there's something for them to do. And then we had a little pony rides set up as well. So there's plenty to do that day. Yeah, it's a good time.
How are you different from something like a Chamber of Commerce or a community betterment group?
We're really not. we're a combination of those two, though. There really hasn't been a Chamber of Commerce in Elsberry, so this was kind of a void that back in 2017, Sam Byers and several people decided they needed to kind of help fill that. And so they've done that through this. It's not really any different than either of those, except that we take on a little more than both of those do. You know.
What do you mean by that?
So because we do both the community growth and we also do Chamber of Commerce, we're trying to work with businesses and with the community to bring things together instead of just bringing the community to the businesses.
Why is it important that you're a 501c3? What does this allow you to do?
So having that status allows people who, whenever they donate to us or they're joining as membership, they're only expecting a certain portion of that back through like social media coverage and things. So it allows them to be able to write that off. So it kind of helps them and helps us at the same time, being able to offer a little bit more that way. We also can do things like the group booster grant because we're not so worried about like the limits of taxes and ownership. So that kind of helps us a little bit.
Well, I mentioned earlier before we started recording, I grew up in a town about this size, and honestly, we didn't really have a lot going on. But here it feels like Elsberry has everything, so I just have to ask why.
Why does Elsberry have everything?
Yeah, just so much restaurants and
I think Elsberry is a great community as far as like we want to support each other. We want to work together. A lot of us businesses do try to promote each other and try to make sure that each other is doing well. Checking in with each other. How are you doing? How's things going? Anything we can help with? Do you want to be involved with things? And a lot of the businesses in the community do want to be involved, which is great.
what do your meetings look like?
So our board meetings, oh gosh. They're typically an hour, hour and a half at the most. We limit it to that because we're all very busy. This is obviously a volunteer position for all of us. We all have full-time jobs.
Oh, you're not breaking it in over this?
yeah. Rolling in the dough. No. So typically we'll just go through what we've talked about previously, what we have coming up. Does anybody need help with anything? Obviously, getting membership renewals right now is a big deal for us. We're sitting right around like 120 members. We would obviously like to see that grow. I think we dropped off a little bit with the individuals and family membership. I know back in 2017, they did a lot of where the ECGA were new. So they got a lot of membership that way. And I feel like since then, it's kind of dropped off a little bit. I think a lot of people don't really know how much the ECGA does. So hopefully things like this and, making sure that we're kind of marketing ourselves a little bit more will help with that because there's a lot of things we do and we do need help. We're always looking for help with those.
On your Facebook page, it says, Elsberry is a great place to call home. Our mission is to let the world hear it. What does that really mean to you?
So I have lived in Elsberry my whole life. I think I moved away for maybe a year, and I now am raising my kids here and my grandkids here. So I want to make sure that Elsberry stays a place where you can be proud to say I'm from Elsberry. You can walk down Main Street and see businesses and see things to do. While you can't do everything here, there's a lot. We have a historic movie theater where you can actually afford to go to the movies.
I was told that's the oldest one in Missouri. Is that accurate?
I believe it's the oldest single screen one in Missouri. Is what they have found when they look through it. So Megan, what about you in Elsberry?
Well, same. I'm born and raised in Elsberry. I've gone away, came back, and recently, about 3 years ago, I moved back and brought my daughter here in high school, put her in Elsberry school, and she just thrived here. And the community, I'm going to get emotional, but the community as a whole is very strong. And when there is anything that happens in this town that affects anybody, like cancer or death or a flood or anything that happens like that, the community really rallies together to support each other. And you can't find that just anywhere. And I've lived in a couple different places, and I feel like it's the strongest in this community. And I'm proud to be from Elsberry, and I'm glad we brought my daughter back here. It's been really great.
When was the flood?
July. Last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How has the community recovered from that?
I think there's been a lot of recovery. There still is a long-term recovery committee with City Hall that they're working with.
Do you all play any role in that, the committee?
I have not been involved in that one since like the day of the flood. I helped like bring some bread and stuff like that. I really I really didn't get to be too involved working, but we had some really great people. Laura Taylor and Justin Bainey really did a great job of making everybody aware of what there was available to help them, how they could help them, and making sure that it was available for everyone. I talked to her the other day and said, you know, it was amazing how well they did with her, helping her with her basement flooding, and how they helped replace so many things. And having those people as contacts to get the information was great for her. But I mean, that day, I mean, it was so emotional. There was at the church, it was just it made me so emotional for this town, because you could see how many people needed the help and how the help was there, which isn't something you see all the time. I'm
I guess
sure
was
there's
almost
still
like
support.
bittersweet. I don't know.
Yeah, like to see everybody kind of, yeah, exactly. To come together like that, you wouldn't expect it to be that quickly, but it was, I mean, the coffee shop opened up in the middle of the night so that people could come inside. I think it was like 3 a.m., 2 or 3 a.m.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so that people had somewhere to go because it was storming so bad. Once they got the church open, then they let them go there. But since she's so close to the end of town where the flooding occurred, that was where people got to, where there was finally
It's amazing.
not water. And she let them come inside and have a little bit of peace before they moved on to the church where they could stay.
What's one thing you're most proud of that the ECGA has done?
Well, I mean, like, I know like the monument sign with the welcome to Elsberry is a big thing that I think makes our town stand out, kind of, instead of just being that blip on the way down 79. You see that big sign that says welcome to Elsberry, and that was instrumental. The Growth Association did that. That was before I was on board. And then also keeping the fall festival going. That is a big event in town, and it is a lot to take on that we do, and it's something that I don't know if it would have kept going if somebody didn't take that on like that.
What's something people outside of Elsberry completely misunderstand about this town?
Okay, so one of the biggest questions that I get, I sell real estate, so anytime anybody calls me about a house in Elsberry, they automatically assume that the entire town is in the floodplain, which that's not the case. So there's lots of places that are not in the floodplain here.
Why does that matter?
Well, if your home is in the floodplain, if you have a loan, you have to have flood insurance, and flood insurance is not really cheap. So between flood insurance and homeowners insurance, you're paying double for insurance. So that is a big deal to people, cost wise. The 100-year floodplain is primarily from the railroad tracks and down. Don't quote me on this because I'm not an actual expert in floodplain. But then there's certain areas of town that can be affected by the flood. But the entire town is not in the floodplain. So that is a huge misconception I get a lot. And secondly, because we're a small town, there's a lot of assumptions made about how good our school district is. And with personal experience, my own children, it's been fantastic. But the last time I checked, and I haven't checked it in a while, so don't quote me on this either, but the last time I looked at Desi's website, Elsberry was one of the top tier schools in the county. There's only 4 schools in the county, but the test scores were the highest. But from a personal experience, the staff is good people, and the community, and the community really rallies together regardless of the situation. So I think that's a common misconception too about the school.
And then you were saying you come from a larger district, so kind of that one-on-one was the big.
Yeah. So I've had experience with private school, a larger school district, and then the Elsberry School District, and I do value myself smaller because it's a little bit more of a personal one-on-one experience. Your name is known, and typically they know your family. So
I just something that a lot of the teachers in Elsberry live in Elsberry or close to it, and they also care a lot about the school district and the kids who are here. There's been several foster kids who like teachers have helped to take on. I had one get a hold of me the other day. They're like, he needs a haircut. They just care so much, and that's a great part of our school district.
Yeah, and going back to the community too, like I've had somebody that was with the school district post that some kids needed some shoes, And the town just is so quick to jump in and be like, what size do you need? I'll bring them up to the school tomorrow, you know? So it's just a really great community in that aspect, is everybody's so quick to help.
Yeah,
So it's a good community.
Good.
The town has wonderful people in it. There's wonderful areas of town.
We have 3 parks. 3 parks that are like you can go playground, run around parks, and then we have the
Which
one.
one's the best?
Which one's the best? Oh, there isn't a best. They're all great. They all have their moments. So we have the city park. We have H Ranch Park, which has a log setup and it has a walking trail. And then we have the Cross Park, which is next to the historic Cross building that they preserved, and they actually use that for a food pantry from St. Joachim and Ann. They bring that in on Wednesdays and distribute food to the community through that building. But next to it is the park, and then we also have our park that we maintain for our concert series. So we put a stage in there, and we maintain, we mow, we cut down trees that were dangerous, and taking care of that area a lot. So I mean, there's a lot to do outside here, and you know, a lot to enjoy here.
What's something coming up that people should be excited about?
The summer concert series.
All right. And if someone's watching this and wants to get involved, where do they go? What do they do?
GrowingElsberry.com. You can join through there. You can look at our past events and look at future events as well. You can see some of the photos from some of the previous events we've done also. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Growing Elsberry.
Well, is there anything that we missed? Open the floor to you.
Do we want to say how much, like, individual membership costs, or what a membership costs? Maybe if you were like,
It's not very expensive, yeah. So our membership is yearly. You would, even though it's March, you would still have 2025 is what you're 2026 is what you're signing up for. So for a individual, it is 20. For a family, which includes your whole family, it's 35. For a business, it is 65 for the year. For a nonprofit, it is 45. Or a business, a nonprofit or a government entity. There we go. We also do have sponsorship opportunities. And those are listed on the website as well. So if you want to help sponsor our summer concert series, the fall festival, there's also options to do that as well.
And then this is open to just Elsberry residents?
It's not just Elsberry residents. If you feel like you want to become involved in Elsberry, or you want to help the community, you definitely can. We have people who are alumni from Elsberry schools who are members. They want to help promote it still, keep it going, and are proud of their hometown.
So anybody that cares about Elsberry is free to join?
You're free to join. Yep. And we have one annual membership meeting that's in January. It's our gala annual meeting where we also have awards for our businesses and people in town. So we have different categories for that: Small Business of the Year, Woman of the Year, Man of the Year, and Educator of the Year. So those are voted on by the public on Facebook. And we hold a banquet for them. We present them the awards, and we also discuss our plans for the year and what we want to do. It's our only open meeting at the moment that we have. So
Not too much commitment, it doesn't sound like.
No, not a lot of commitment. Just
Little trash pick up and go to the meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we want to add in there?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, sitting down, and having me out.
Thank you for coming over.